Hello everyone, welcome to the Boot Room. Andy and Stu here ahead of Ipswich Town's home clash with Accrington. Stu pits the team third in the League One form table against the team 21st in the League One form table. Your thoughts?
What's that over a period of?
Since November the 5th, since Ipswich's last league win.
That's quite remarkable, isn't it? Yeah, I knew Accrington were in a good run of form, not quite as good as that, I have to say. I think they were 7 unbeaten at one point. They did lose against Rochdale in their last league game, but nevertheless, they are a side that's doing pretty well, punching above their weight, you would say, in League One at the moment. Another tricky game for Ipswich, who, as we all know, have gone beyond a blip now. We're into slump territory, are we? 12 without a win, if we're not including that Peterborough penalty shootout victory in the EFL Trophy. So, tough game, big game.
Against a team where Ipswich haven't got the best of records over the last year and a bit. 2 games, 2 losses. I'll be hoping to change that this weekend. So then, big game for Ipswich. Which way is Paul Lambert going with his team?
No idea. Nobody ever knows anymore, but I'll give you an idea of what I would quite like to see. Holy in goal, definite for me. Norris has had 3 fairly shaky games on the spin. Holy's come in last weekend, made a really good save at the end. He's an Ipswich Town player. Stick with him. I'm not convinced it will happen, but we shall see on that front. I want to see a back 4. Keep trying around with these wing backs, just back to basics approach, and for me that's a back 4. Danasian hopefully fit to face his former club, right back, Chambers, Wolfenden, and I'd like to see Miles Kenlock back in the team at left back. I thought he had a good game at Exeter earlier in the season, last weekend. He was part of that winning streak at the start of the season. Put him back in, get Luke Garbutt a little bit further forward on the left. 2 holding midfielders, Dazelle, Downs. I think those 2 come through the ranks together, played for England together. I'd like to see that flourish a little bit more. Not sure Teddy Bishop's going to be ready to start again, as good as he was last weekend. Keep him up your sleeve as a wild card option. Give Alan Judge another go in that number 10 role where he looked far more suited at Wycombe on New Year's Day. Right hand side, probably going to go with Gwion Edwards. He's not set the world alight this season. He's been up and down, but he was better against Wycombe. Have him on the right hand side. And then up front's a real conundrum, especially in this system that I've just described, with 1 up front. Will Keane's the man of the moment. For me, he scored a really good goal at Lincoln, scored another good goal last weekend. I think he's more suited to this get it on the floor, unlock the door passing approach that they'll probably need against Accrington. So that's my team. Anything to add or contest?
I'm going with a similar system. It's the one I like. It's the one I've wanted to see Ipswich play for a while, but a few tweaks in terms of personnel. I'm not convinced about Garbutt quite so far forward. I'd play him back at left back. That means a new left winger needed. I'd go with Freddie Sears. I think he's now had 3 appearances, 1 start on his way back. I'd play him there. I'd play Judge in the middle, just like you would. I'd want to see something a bit different down the right. I'd really like to see what Caden Jackson can do in a wide forward role on the right. Lambert said it's too difficult for him at previous stages in the campaign. I think he can do it. I'd like to see it. And I'd also probably go with James Norwood up front. I want a bit more urgency, a bit more blood and thunder from my central striker than maybe Will Keane can give at the moment. So I'd just about go with Norwood, although obviously Keane is in very good form. So, what are you thinking about going into this game? What's on the tip of your brain?
Having looked at Accrington in a little bit of depth, I'm hoping this is a good time to face them. We've talked about their good run of form. They did lose to Rochdale last time out in the league, and they've played in the EFL Trophy in midweek, and that was a strong team. They only made 4 changes to that. They're desperate to get to Wembley in that competition, so Ipswich should be better rested than Accrington. And they've got some big players missing as well. Colby Bishop, who scored twice in the reverse fixture, handful up front. He's missed the last 4 games with a back injury. He may or may not be back, but probably won't be fully fit and firing if he is. Sean McConville, their captain, in midfield. He's out for the season, Achilles injury on New Year's Day, so that's a couple of key absentees for them. Billy Key still not playing with off-field issues that have been a problem for him this season. So I'm hoping it's a good time to face Accrington. What are you thinking?
How big a game is this? For me, this is probably the biggest game for Paul Lambert, certainly since the opening day at Burton, which they safely navigated in the end. That was a nervy affair on the pitch and in the stands. I'm a little worried the same could come here. We're at a pressure point in terms of this long run that has gone from a blip. Slump, is that where we are? We're in a slump, the January slump. And also with the background of a new 5-year contract for Lambert as well. I'm a little worried, that things might be a bit edgy and how that will affect the team today. But in the past, earlier this season, when the backs were against the wall and things were a bit edgy, that's when they came to the fore and were at their best, perhaps. So maybe it could inspire a much needed win. Okay, last, but certainly not least, your predictions, sir.
Head says draw.
Boo.
Heart says win.
Yay!
2-1.
Everything about me says win. Clean sheet as well. 2-0. Hopefully we're both right.